everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you visiting it. I hope you're having a great day wherever in the world you are and with whoever you're with in the world today. The topic that I'm going to cover on this video is the question you see in front of you. Does the Social Security Administration want us to die early? The reason I'm doing this video is that there's someone in southern Florida in the Sarasota area that does a lot of videos about retirement and talks about the need to collect at 62 or the recommendation to collect at the age 62 as soon as you can. He's got this theory. He says the Social Security Administration wants you to wait as long as possible to take your benefits because they think, or maybe he just thinks they think, that we're all going to die young. Hey, who doesn't like a good conspiracy theory, right? Especially about the government. But in this video, we're going to take a closer look at what's really going on. I get where he's coming from, but there's either confusion there or willful ignorance going on to help promote the channel. Either way, let's clear things up. So let's break it down a little bit. His theory, what he suggests is you should start taking Social Security at 62 because, according to him, you're not promised tomorrow. You're going to die young in your early 70s. So quit your prison job. Quit that job. As soon as you turn 62, get a side hustle at Costco, hand out those samples, collect your Social Security check, and enjoy life. It's the whole premise for the channel, right? And he also thinks, for rationale to do that, he thinks the Social Security Administration, on the other hand, wants you to delay so they don't have to pay you as much. But there's a big flaw in his thinking. What he's doing is he seems to be confusing two types of life expectancy. When he talks about life expectancy, that's all he says, the average life expectancy for someone. What he's really talking about in the tables that he may be referencing, that's life expectancy at birth. And that's the average age a newborn is expected to live. And that factors in everyone, including those who don't make it past childhood or young adulthood. What he should be talking about and what you should be most considerate of or considering of when trying to understand what your life expectancy might reasonably be is something different. It's life expectancy at whatever age you are at. And in this case, relative to Social Security and collecting at 62, what you should be most concerned about is that at age 62, how much more can I reasonably expect to live? So what's my life expectancy at age 62? Now that's a whole different story than what he's talking about. If you've made it to 62, your chances of living another 20 or even 30 years are actually pretty high. Stick around to the end of this video and I'm going to show you a tool that you can use instead of listening to a tool in southern Florida to decide how long you reasonably expect to live and when you should maybe start taking Social Security. The fact of the matter is, if you're at 62, there's chances of living another 20 or 30 years, and they're actually pretty high. So here's the kicker. His whole theory is based on the wrong life expectancy. If you make it to 62, the data really shows you're likely to live a lot longer than he thinks. The Social Security Administration knows this, and that's why they give you different options for when to start taking benefits. That's all it is. There's no secret plot that they have. The bottom line is they don't care. In fact, I would argue if you want to get into the conspiracy world about the Social Security Administration, I think it would make much more sense to say they want you to collect it at 62. They don't want you to wait, not like he says. They'd rather have you get it as early as possible. Why do I say that? I say that because the Social Security Administration, like any government agency, lives to feed itself and for itself to thrive. And the way you do that is you get as many people as your quote customers as possible. So when you collect at 62, you become their customer earlier, makes them more important, and it helps ensure their jobs. It's about job security to them. They don't give a damn about overspending, spending too much, too little. They just want job security. They don't care about overspending or cheating you out of money. Doesn't even come into their thoughts. They don't care. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt maybe here. Maybe he doesn't really understand the distinction between life expectancy at birth and expectancy at a given age. But there's also the chance, I think, he might be choosing to ignore it because think about it. His entire channel, the whole channel, is built around encouraging people to retire at 62 and start collecting Social Security right away. It's a catchy message, right? It really is. People who are nearing retirement, a lot of people, I'm one of them, I don't want to work any longer than I have to. I want to enjoy life, right? And I will take it at 62, but for entirely different reasons than Tim advocates. And it has nothing to do with life expectancy at birth. I look at life expectancy at a given age. That's the tool I'm going to show you in a little bit at the end. And I would very highly recommend you do the exact same thing. Again, don't listen to some random guy just trying to promote his channel on YouTube to retire at 62. It's a really dangerous message potentially for you and for anybody else that takes that advice from somebody who frankly doesn't really know what they're talking about, whether it's on purpose or they just don't know. What Tim doesn't mention, or he does, he has in some videos, but he downplays it. And I think it's because of the amount of Social Security at 62 he received because of his work history. He doesn't really see the need to go to 70 or wait till 70 to collect because it doesn't seem like that much more money. For me, if I waited till 70, it'd be, gosh, like $4,300, I want to say, is what I'd get a month. It can be a substantial amount of money. So he doesn't like to talk about this too much, or he downplays it a lot, that the difference isn't that big a deal, and you better just forget it and take it at age 62. Work your side hustle probably forever and go happy along trying to have fun in life. The fact of the matter is that if you do wait, if you're not familiar with this, if you do wait, if you take it at 62, you get 70% of your FRA. So the amount you get at age 66 or 67 now for my generation, you'll get to the 100% if you wait till then, and you get 124% if you wait till age 70. Now, everything he says, I would ignore it. The reason the Social Security Administration offers higher benefits for waiting, it's because they're trying to balance out payments over your lifetime. That's it. Assuming you live an average lifespan. They use actuarial tables based on life expectancy at a given age, not birth. He should be doing that. You should be doing that. And that's certainly what I'm doing when I consider what I think my life expectancy is reasonably going to be. It's all about giving you choices. It has nothing to do with betting against your life or wanting you to die early. Now, relative to when he talks about you're not promised tomorrow. So take your money now, right? You're not promised tomorrow. Take your money now because you don't know when you're going to die. And I see people dying all around me and up and down the street. They're dying at 55, 62, whatever. They don't get to collect their Social Security. What he's doing when he talks about that, he doesn't know it, but he's fallen prey to the hasty generalization fallacy. If you don't know what that is, Google it. The hasty generation or generalization fallacy. What that states is that you are making a conclusion about something without a large enough sample size. So for me, I can name people that I know that have died really early. I had a buddy that died at 59. My brother died at 57. I know other people that have died young, but that's not a good sample size. It's not a statistically significant sample size to draw the conclusion about a larger population. And that's what he's doing, and that's what some of his devotees or his disciples are doing as well. It's kind of like if you walked into a grocery store and the cashier was a teenager and say was dressed in all black clothes and had piercings all over the place, and you looked at them and you thought, oh boy, what's going on there? And then maybe a couple of weeks later, you run into another one. And then from that, you turn and you look to your spouse and you say, oh, these teenagers just go to hell these days. Look at them. That's the hasty generalization fallacy. You're drawing a conclusion about a larger population, in that case, teenagers, based on just what you saw. That's a really dangerous thing to do, and that's what he's doing also in terms of rationalizing why you should take Social Security early, because you're not promised tomorrow. Now, I would tell you Social Security's not a gamble. It should be a calculated decision for you and for your loved ones and your spouse. The fact is, if you're healthy and you have a good chance of living well into your 80s or 90s, delaying can actually make a lot of sense. It's about understanding your own situation. It's not a catchy slogan for somebody's YouTube channel. Now, I plan to take it at 62, as I may have said, for entirely different reasons, though. I'm not listening to anything about that I hear about life expectancy at birth. I'm doing it more based upon I know I've got enough, and my spouse and I have enough put away in 401ks and Roths to retire comfortably. And what I think I know, and it's more of the Dave Ramsey perception, I think, of advocating taking it because you can beat the returns that you would get with the Standard and Poor 500 over time. If you took it early, you would outpace what you get if you just waited until later. And that's the route I'm going to take. So here's the scoop. The Social Security Administration isn't trying to trick you. They provide options based on your own needs and life expectancy. If you want to start at 62, go for it. But you better know that you're making a trade-off. It's all about what works best for you. Now, I'm going to show you, I mentioned at the front end of this, that I'm going to show you a tool that you can use, and there's a lot of them out there. Just go to Google and or DuckDuckGo or whatever web browser you use or search engine you use and type in life expectancy calculator at a given age, and you'll see a bunch of them out there. Now, this is one from the University of Pennsylvania that created this life expectancy calculator based on 400,000 NIH data samples, and they give a short quiz. And the short quiz is basically some of the, I'll call them the most significant attributes in determining life expectancy. Some of these differ depending on whose you use. I think I trust the University of Pennsylvania. I don't think they have an agenda or some sort of an evil under the table partnership with the Social Security Administration. There's other sites that life insurance companies share doing very similar things. I can't think of anybody in the world who would be more interested in understanding the real longevity of a person than a life insurance company or an actuary at a life insurance company. So I'm going to trust these kind of sites a hell of a lot more than I'm going to trust some guy just spouting off in southern Florida about what your life expectancy is going to be. So let's do this one for me. How long will I live? Again, based on 400,000 NIH data samples. It's a short quiz, doesn't take long. It says here the average American now lives to 88. I think that's probably 14 years older than I'm hearing people that say you will live with the life expectancy at birth. That's 14 years right there. Let's see what mine is. Gender, male. I'm white. I am 58. My weight is 205 pounds. You see how quick this goes? It's really simple. As long as you got to be honest with yourself, right? You can't just make stuff up. Say, gosh, I want to be 175 pounds, but you're not. You can't do that. Height, I'm between 5'8" and 5'9". I'll say 5'8". Education, I'm at least a college graduate. My marital status, I'm married. Am I retired? I consult, so I'm going to say I'm currently working. My annual income is over 80,000. My fitness, I'm going to say, yeah, 1 to 2 workouts per week. General health, I think I'm in good health. Do I have diabetes? No. What's my lifestyle with alcohol? I don't really drink. Very, very rarely. Smoking, I never smoke. My review comes down here, shows my summary, This the attributes that I gave myself here based on the questions, and I just click this. It says calculate my life expectancy. That's what it's going to do. It's going to take my information, and right now it's comparing it to its database of those 400,000 records, and it's trying to match me up to see where it is that it determined my estimated life expectancy to be. And you can see over here on the left, it shows my age now and the scale all the way to 100. You can see peers, so the people in my age group and people like me, that's their range, right? Here's my range, and it says here that I have a 75% chance that I'm going to live to 81. It says my life expectancy is 4.9 years greater than most. Great job, blah, blah, blah. My estimated life expectancy is 89 years old. That's quite a bit different than the life expectancy at birth for me, which I believe is like 74 years old. That's 15 years difference. That's a big deal. And that should be a big deal to you too, or at least to know this. Make your decision whether to take Social Security and when based on something like this, not on what somebody on YouTube tells you that really has no idea what they're talking about. Now, I hope this clears up some of the confusion. Social Security, it's not a one size fits all deal. It's certainly not a conspiracy. It's just about choices and understanding the facts. I hope you understand that. And again, I hope you use this information to make your decision or to make a more informed decision that you've taken hold of and you feel confident about on when to best take Social Security. If you watch this video all the way through, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I sincerely hope you have a great day and that you have a fantastic retirement.
Now the days